3403 today.
This weather report being brought to you by Montgomery Medical. Trust their 50 years of combined experience for the best results in primary care, newborns to elderly, minor illness or injury, as well as wellness and physical exams. And now the weather.
Right now at 51 degrees, with the overnight low tonight dropping down to 49. Chance for some rain and storms late Saturday. High at 63, overnight low at 45. Clouds and sun Sunday. High at 48, only up to 43 on Monday with sun. The overnight low down to 28, 45 with a chance of rain. Tuesday, Wednesday, clouds and some sun, 55 for the high and back into the 60s. Thursday with a chance of afternoon rain, 61. We do have a slight chance of rain this afternoon, cloudy and 51 degrees at 3:11 on a Friday. Good afternoon, I'm Nick Barczyk. On the way next with the Democratic Radio Hour with George Agrete, Rich Ringer, and Doc Riley, all on the way next on WMBS. Good afternoon.
This weather report was brought to you by Montgomery Medical, a family tradition of family medicine. Same-day appointments available for acute care. Call 724-569-8100 or visit montibed.com to schedule your appointment.
Hey everyone, this is Josh Krysak here letting you know that it's not too late to purchase a shed, carport, or building due to the cold weather that's upon us. Ron from Ultimate Structures will explain.
Here at Ultimate Structures, we go full-time, year-round to service our customers. Don't let the cold weather discourage you from purchasing the storage building for your needs. Our manufacturers and installation crews keep chugging through the cold weather. There may be minor delays due to snow and ice, but you can be assured every attempt will be made to get your building up and ready to protect your valuables.
That is great news to hear, Ron. Our listeners can still purchase a shed, carport, garage, or building to fit their needs.
Customers can call me anytime to discuss their needs at 724-557-3281. That's 724-557-3281. We can sit down and design what you desire. Come out to our mega lot to view models to fulfill your dreams. We are Ultimate Structures, satisfying Fayette County customers since 2007.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President's Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Dom, I have exciting news to share. Santa showed up early with a heap of holiday savings. Black Friday sale all month long.
Check out this offer. How about 2025 F-150 XL and XLT models? Save up to $7,000 off and you get these great rates as well. How about 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84? Or get this, you can take advantage of 0% financing for 5 years.
Dang, Dom. Any other holiday cheer you want to throw around?
Well, John, old St. Nick said, let's move some Explorers as well. Save up to $3,000 off 2025 Explorer, and these rates will make the Tom the Turkey blush. 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and that's right, 4.9 for 84 months.
Dom, pre-owned? We got them. Over 70 online, and most are certified with factory warranty. Your sleigh knows, shouldn't you? That's 40 Uniontown, on the hill across from Applebee's, or 40uniontown.com. Offer includes all factory incentives, must finance support letter credit, and not all buyers will qualify. Deadline December 1st.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Feeling lucky? Your next big jackpot is waiting for you. Visit the casino at Nemacolin in Farmington, PA for the ultimate casino experience featuring the hottest table games, daily promotions, big-time giveaways, and an exciting variety of premium slots. And after, celebrate your big win with a juicy burger at the Royale while you watch the big game. Hotel packages available. Visit CasinoNemacolin.com for more information. The Casino at Nemacolin. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all
The
states.
views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
And it's Friday at 3:15. Time for the Democratic Radio Hour with George Ugrate, Rich Ringer, and Doc Riley. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Good. Nick. I didn't call you TJ. There is a little illness going around here at WMBS. Everybody's losing their voice. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah, you can't run a radio station. Everyone's losing their voice.
Probably the next 45 minutes, they'll probably say, I should have lost my voice years ago. But again, welcome to Democratic Hour on WMBS 590 AM 101.1 FM. Our telephone number, and we're taking calls, 724-438-4593. Nick, we always start the show with a little music, and there he is.
There we go. There he is.
He's got a new album out.
That's right. You hanging out with him this weekend? Taking him to the Steeler game, with the Pitt Notre Dame game?
Yeah, we're going to really do it up.
Absolutely.
He's going to come one day in here, and it's not going to be AI either. That's the one and only Justin Timberlake. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Guys, Rich and Doc stepped out for a minute. He'll be back in. There's so many things. Let me take this headset off. There's so many things we could talk about it. We could probably do a 2-hour show. So let's go over real quick. I wrote some things down. I know, Rich, you do, and Doc will have something too, of course. Finally, the government, after a long recorded shutdown, was it the record for the most days away from?
For the federal, yeah.
Yeah, federal.
Yep.
And, of course, we're going to talk about the state budget. The
And
federal.
The second one was also the Trump administration.
So Trump.
It's 1 and 2.
He's 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh, he likes to. He might as well do. Well, he can't do 3. He wants to do 3, right? But on the feds and the state, and we're going to get to the state here in a minute. But I know the show previously, and there's a big article in the paper. Fayette County residents called Marietta's campaign finance report. Alleged recorder of deeds did not report the donations, disclosure, and PAC contributions. That's PAC contributions. So we're going to see where this all pans out. And it's ironic. John took a little leave of absence next couple of weeks, so maybe he knew this was coming. And, of course, he doesn't take phone calls. So,
yeah, I don't know. I'll write something about that this weekend.
And again, Rich, the other thing, too, that would have happened when Congress went back in, of course, the big story, and it won't go away, and it's not going to go away, is the Epstein files.
Oh, absolutely.
They have a discharge petition. They have 218 signatures. Johnson, believe it or not, said they will take a vote.
He's going to expedite it and put the vote up next week.
So those 218, the names will stay on there. It has to be brought up on the floor once they do 218 with a discharge petition.
And the Republicans were putting the word out earlier today that there may be far more than 218.
Like I said, now where it goes once it leaves Congress, when it goes to the Senate, that's a little different story. But they have enough
even
for
if the Senate passes it,
right.
Guess where it goes?
And
Trump's desk.
You know what that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So the Epstein files will not go away, and they shouldn't go away, regardless.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And Rich, you bring up an excellent
Absolutely
point.
not.
Well, let's get back to the state budget. Well, this process started way back in February, and there was 2 press releases after the budget, I do believe, was passed Wednesday. Forgive me, maybe it's Thursday. Every day runs the same to me. And, Rich, there was an article, and there was a little quick press release by one of our legislators, and we'll get to who it is after we go through this. Rich, just kind of highlight what one of our reps said.
Yeah, it says, after a long and challenging process, 2025-26 state budget is officially on the governor's desk. Well, he did sign it, so this press release came out before then. We cut nearly $1.4 billion from the original proposal, protected taxpayers from new taxes, and safeguarded the rainy day fund. And he ends up, the
release ends. Despite the obstacles, this budget strengthens our strengthens our energy future, supports families, and drives opportunities across Pennsylvania.
And I'm going to give you the second comment in a minute. But again, anybody can look this up online. This is how the budget process works in Harrisburg. Pennsylvania budget process in Harrisburg typically begins with the governor's budget address. And that's usually beginning of January, early February. Then it goes to legislation hearings following the address. Then it goes to negotiation, compromise, and passage. In June 30th deadline, we know that didn't happen.
That didn't happen, absolutely.
And they were reoriented in November.
Yeah.
The reason
later.
Reason I bring this up is I'm going to read another comment by one of our legislators, and I'm just going to highlight it. It says, "I'm glad our schools, counties, and local organizations will finally get the funding they've been waiting for. They've been held hostage by Harrisburg delay for way far too long, and our communities deserve stability and certainty."
Sounds a heck of a lot different than the release I read.
Yes, and my whole point in this, the one and only Charity Grimm Krupa, and Rich, you would be so kind, tell them who wrote that little news clip.
The one that I read was Senator Pat Stefano.
Pat Stefano, who is a Republican, who represents all of Fayette County and Somerset, and maybe a little bit of Indiana, but all of Fayette. So he votes for the budget.
Yep.
Charity votes against the budget, and she says in here, Krupa blasts the process behind the 141-page fiscal code bill, which lawmakers only receive less than 3 hours before the vote. Now, that's hard for me to believe when this process started
in January.
And it goes through committee after committee after committee, and she claims that it was put on her desk, didn't have an opportunity, I assume, to look at it. But what did she do all the way from last January, all the way up to here in November, right?
Right.
So she criticized the budget, but you can rest assured, I'm going to put a new handle on her. And I'm not going to call her photo op Charity. I'm going to call her scissor hand Charity because I guarantee cutting ribbons, she'll be here in Fayette County. But my whole point, Charity, you will get a pay raise, like all the other legislators here to the Commonwealth. But here's the thing. You know, you mentioned, you made a comment, you didn't go to Harrisburg to make friends. Evidently, your friend is not Pat Stefano because he voted for the budget. You know, and I think you called WMBS on your way to from Harrisburg, complaining what you thought the budget process. You voted against it, but yet you said you are glad our schools got additional money, which they should.
Yep.
But you voted against the budget. In the meantime, you're compensated, and you will get a raise next year. It will be close to $110,000. Plus, you get a per diem going to Harrisburg, coming back. If it's so tough in Harrisburg, I guess best thing don't run for office.
Yeah, you know,
go back to being a full-time attorney. But bring something back for the county. You can't, like you said, if you went there not to make friends, well, I can understand why you'd vote no on everything.
From what I read, the largest increases in the budget went to education, which is a good thing, and the state has to give a portion for Medicare. Those were the two largest portions of increases in the state budget. Now, how can you go vote against that? Education and Medicare.
And she mentions in her, I'm glad our schools.
Yeah, glad our schools.
But here's the thing, too. You know, like I said, this process didn't start here in November. It started back with the governor's address to the full House and the Senate in Harrisburg. Then you have the budget hearings. They go through February and March. Then there's budget compromises on both sides. The budget was supposed to be passed June 30th, which it wasn't. And it was extended all the way here to either the 12th of November or the 13th. Yeah. Then you make comments like that they just put this on your desk. So what does your age do while you're back here representing your constituents here in Fayette County?
Yeah. No, I don't know how it happens here in Pennsylvania. I've been involved in various campaigns in other states and the budget process. And, you know, Illinois is one of them. There's always a delay in getting a budget there. And candidates I worked for, some of them were incumbents. They would get a stack. It's like, okay, here's what's in the bill. Here's what's in the budget process in advance, as the process goes through after all the committee meetings.
Right.
And as it gets changed, they get the updates that are highlighted in yellow or red or whatever. And, everything else is the same. And they pay attention to the changes that are made. And that happened all of the time. As I said, I don't know what the process is like here in Pennsylvania.
Like I said, we just read the process, so it's no different. So it wasn't that she was totally taken back by what was in a bill.
Yeah.
It was like she never seen it. Maybe she didn't participate in it.
And people like me, like I was on staff, we would get it, and it would be divided among staff members. Like, you take a look at this section, and another staff member take a look at another section. And we'd go and do the research and go tell the candidate. So, here's what it means.
The important thing, though, is that Rich pointed out, he boiled it down to the two monster items of dedicated monies, which to the education system.
Right.
Okay, and then that contribution to
Medicare.
Medical coverage for these for our citizens.
Yeah.
And you boiled it down to an easy decision. I mean, we wouldn't have to go off to a 2-week seminar of 10 hours a day figuring it out. All the other items are lesser important items, at least as far as the amount they needed.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right.
And you make the decision are very easy.
And it's a give and take, like you just said. And I stated earlier, this process started, and it'll start again this year coming up.
Yeah.
And here, it'll be here we are in the second week in November. Mm-hmm. But here's the other thing: our local legislators, with finally Washington D.C. going back to work. I wonder how many times they reached out to talk to Guy Rushenthaler. Now he was gone for 40-some days. I think he'd been gone for the last 10 years here in the county. But think about it. Of all the issues going on, just not with the state, but it affects us. How about the people that lost their SNAP programs?
SNAP.
They haven't got it yet. When the last time one of our legislators went to a local food bank here? I bet you they haven't. Seen it's a grief on people who need food or individuals who work for the government, was discharged, or ones who work for the government weren't getting a paycheck, right? But yet they're going to sit here and tell you how tough things in Harrisburg are. They're compensated well, and they should be compensated well, but bring something back other than a no situation.
Yeah. I mean, they are compensated well, but for the time they actually spend adjourned as a body are very few days. I don't know, probably amounts to, 2.5 months out of the year. Now, I understand that they say they, go to committee meetings, they meet with constituents. Yeah, I understand that.
When's the last time they met with any constituents here?
Yeah. Telephone town halls.
Telephone town halls. And again, our telephone number is 724-438-4593. And of course, with the John Marietta situation, and I want to thank the Bureau of Elections, Mary Beth and her fine staff. I stopped down there today. They were finished counting and going whatever they had to dot their I's, cross their T's because of what happened with the debacle with the state, not our Fayette County Bureau of Elections.
No.
So now they're going to be going through all the write-ins, and I do believe there were 7,000 write-ins. So you got to start from
hand
the top.
Counts. You have to hand through every ballot you got to handle.
So that process it started probably today, and they're hoping to finish it up because this whole process has to be turned into Harrisburg, certified by the 3 county commissioners, and we'll see where this all goes. And again, Doc, you have anything else that you want to bring up here locally, federally?
You mentioned, 7,000 mail-ins?
Yeah, over 7,000. I had
is 7,000 enough to change any other?
Well, there's 7,000, Doc. That's including it's for mayors, township supervisors. So so it's just not for one particular office.
Just not one office, yeah.
Yeah. So they got to do all that, and like I said, overworked and underpaid. And I've said that for the longest time. And, The other thing, too, and I don't know this, I should have asked the question, since it was a state screw up, maybe they should have sent a couple extra employees down there to help the county.
And then who's going to pay for it right now? Is that going to fall on the Fayette County or is that going to fall on the state?
Well, I would say it's going to fall on Fayette County. And, we made our comments last week, and, and I visited the polling precincts, and everybody jumped to the conclusion that once they found out about it, they did their due diligence. They sent a press release out. They informed the judge of elections and all the precincts what went on, and I visited some of them in my tour, and they corrected. If somebody came in, they got an opportunity to vote a provisional. Nobody was turned away. And if you were turned away, you probably had an opportunity to come back or go down to the Bureau of Elections. So that's some of the things that happened. But getting back.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
What they're going to jump on, again, is the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for how long? And they're, one fight after another, one excuse after another why there shouldn't be mail-in ballots.
And it was a Republican plan, Act 77. The compromise was you can't vote a straight ticket in a primary. So that was the compromise.
Yeah.
And think about it, those who can't make it to the polls, unfortunately for medical conditions, or they don't have a problem, a service person voting by mail. They've been doing it for years.
If you're going to be out of town on business or out of state on business, hey.
And a lot of people, of course, they have the ballot. Once they get it, there's a lot of things can change there in election day. So there's a lot of things you can do, and it's convenient. And it's been very successful, and the majority of the people do a mail-in ballot is voters in the Democratic Party versus Republican.
In some states, that's all they have is mail-in ballots.
And they've done it.
And for years, they have position taken for granted. And no problems that surfaced when they would have had that in place, up and running, and people happy with it. So what you have to look at, what is the attitude of the party, the opposite party. And if their attitude is that the Democrat administration is sworn in, on the evening news, the leader of the party is, our mission is to make sure not a single thing gets approved of. No. We block everything, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to bash voter integrity. Everybody wants their vote to count.
Oh, absolutely.
And
it should
to be counted correctly.
Legally counted.
Legally counted. Incorrectly, yeah. I don't think anybody's going to criticize that.
And they should, and again, they've done everything at the Bureau of Elections. They have agreement with the post office here locally. When the ballots come in, it's by mail. They immediately take them over to the Bureau of Elections. They don't have to be sent to Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh back to the Bureau of Elections. So they've done their due diligence.
Yeah.
And we've said this so many times. Now, we have 77 precincts. They're going to combine some, and they should, and that'll be finalized before May's primary of
next spring,
2026. So they're doing some things, and again, we've said this so many times. They're looking for people who are judge of elections, inspectors of elections. So they're short-staffed everywhere, and again, that's the election process we have. And of course, with a governor's race next year, you're going to see everybody out campaigning on both parties. And I expect the governor to be here in Fayette County. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. Or I know Austin Davis. We'll probably have Josh on or Austin Davis on. So it'll be a big election year.
And it'll start a lot earlier.
And it will. And I want to also remind the Fayette County Democratic
campaign starts.
It started
election day.
Yeah. You're right. November 5th, right?
Absolutely.
One ends, the other one starts.
November 5th.
And I want to thank the Fayette County Democratic women. They're going to be out at Five Corners at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., rain or shine.
This Saturday.
And last week they were there. It was to honor veterans on Veterans Day. So we had some veterans went down and gave a little, I wouldn't say a speech, how their personal time in the service affected them. And then Channel 4 News was there, and I think they did show part of what transpired down there on Five Corners. And again, for Tracy and your organization, thank you. And so many times before, folks, come down, stop by, say hello to them. They're there, like I said, they'll be there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday. And again, here it is, November 14th. Hard to believe.
Mhm.
We got through this election process. Again, anybody has any question about the process, you can give a call at 724-430-1289. And again, that'll be here shortly. That process starts in February with petition signings, and we'll be, before we know it, it'll be May's primary.
Yeah, it's
And what's going to happen in it's going to be very interesting because, like you said, yesterday's news is going today within hours, but this Epstein is not going to go away.
no. I
don't care how he wants to sugarcoat it, blame it on somebody else. Now he wants to bring everybody's name. I don't know who brought it up.
Yeah, blaming Clinton,
Yeah.
Chase Manhattan banks, for the financing of Epstein's financing. I
Just like Rich said, maybe on his discharge petition, there's going to be more than 218. But once they hit to 218,
Well, they
what's
already
happen-
got 218 right now,
right?
yeah.
And once it brings it up to the House, and he has to bring it up for a vote,
He said he would next week.
we're going to see
Speaker
where
of the
that
House.
goes.
Well, what was amazing to me is this past week trying to get some of the Republicans to take their names off the,
the
petition. And he calls them into the Situation Room in the White House. I mean, okay.
If he has nothing to hide, right?
Yeah, nothing. And you know where the Situation Room is located? Under the East Wing. What happened to the East Wing? It's
Well,
demolished.
It's no longer East Wing.
It's
no wing.
Yeah. But that's where the Situation Room is located. It's under the East Wing.
So like I said, some of the things, our telephone number is 724-438-4593. We discussed the budget, our state budget, the federal shutdown, and, of course, the newspaper article with John Marietta, and, of course, the Epstein files, and, of course, me calling out our local legislators. One, we have voted for the budget. The other one voted against the budget. And it's rather strange, two representatives of both
Same party.
parties, same party or different party, I could see, but the same party, right?
Yeah, same party.
And we're going to be back up for another budget.
Yep.
But again, like I said, if you go to Harrisburg not to make friends, I got to understand why you vote. If I sound a little harsh, I am harsh. I'm being truthful. Bring something back. You represent all Fayette County.
Yeah.
Not D's and R's, people that vote and don't vote. But again, you're going to be there. I know there's different townships and boroughs looking for grants, and you're going to try to get a grant for them, but yet you voted against. Pretty hard to go back and try to beg for some money when you vote against everything that.
And there's no money in the budget.
Right.
Yeah, you voted against the budget, so.
This is not the first time.
No.
And again, our telephone number is 724-438-4593. So, after they claimed that Democrats caved in, well, like I said, and everybody has their spin on it, it made me, I got tired of listening to it. No, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. Well, tell it, it's pretty easy. And I've shared this off the air with. Now, you imagine you're a traffic controller. You're living here in Fayette County, driving to Pittsburgh every day, right? Spending gas, hours on the road. Say, I don't know how many hours they're working, 10 hours. I know from here with
You're
the
working
new,
overtime.
10 hours you're driving with the new toll road. You can save some money, but you're paying for the tolls, and you're not getting paid. So while the guys are off for 40-some days, they're getting paid, right? They have no problem.
Right, you're right.
And so this person working in those government jobs, okay, D's and R's, I'm not getting paid, right? Who do you think they're going to put the blame on?
And then to try to get the air traffic controllers back on the job, saying, well, you'll get a $10,000 bonus if you had worked through the or the close down of the government, and if you didn't show up for work, you're gonna get fired.
And this court says this court says that. Now they may have to give the money back for the tariffs. So, right, when I see my check in the mail, right? Yes, right.
Well, the
check's in the mail, right? That's what we used to say, right? You owe a bill, the check's in the mail.
The $2,000 rebate that has been proposed, I don't know how that's going to work, because if the Supreme Court says that President Trump acted illegally in using emergency powers to impose tariffs, okay, so does he have to does the government have to repay that $300 billion or however much was
Right.
collected back to everybody who paid? And then, if that's the case, how are you going to give $2,000 to everybody?
And who gets the 2,000? Is it by your tax returns? But they just throw in.
Well, didn't he join
Maybe they'll run out by the time they get to Ratte's name, right?
Well, during the COVID, didn't they sent the check out? Didn't he sign his name on the check?
I do believe.
Yeah.
And then I think I don't know if everybody got one. I think a lot of it had to do on your income. I'm not sure on that.
I can't remember. Yeah.
But you can rest assured that, the individuals who buy these products outside America, they were paying for the freight.
Yeah.
I don't know how often they pass it on to consumers. But you know what? I went to the grocery store. I just realized everything has come down under this administration, right? As I said. Could you imagine the last time you've been to the grocery store? What did his son just make some comments and went crazy about Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, yeah.
That you can move $500 million and have a glass of wine or something. He made a comment, right?
Sitting on the couch.
Yeah, sitting on the couch, but they can't get these.
The money off for SNAP benefits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine he's talking about $500 million, right?
Yeah. And then he give a $40 billion bailout loan to Venezuela, but
Right.
you can't give any money for SNAP benefits.
Or just like you said, go one of these food banks.
Yeah.
And look what here come just for Thanksgiving.
They have limited reserve. The food banks
Yes.
are not intended to be able to support.
The crowds that are gathering right now. Yeah.
Just look what Timmy Mahoney, him and his family have done for umpteen years.
For Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And over 300 people, you could come by and pick up a Christmas dinner. So, again, there's a lot of things. And I'm looking if we missed anything since we come on air. Maybe our phone's not working. I'm shocked that we got a phone call.
You want me to call in?
Call in, Rich.
Well, we'll call in.
Disguise your voice.
We'll go in the other room and call in.
That's it.
Maybe we didn't stir up enough trouble.
No, that's never a problem with you
No.
guys.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the headlines here. It says Trump to order probing Epstein's alleged ties to Clinton and others, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that, right?
I'm surprised he hasn't blamed Biden yet.
Oh,
Oh, yes. It'll be coming.
it'll come. He blames.
Stay tuned. It'll be coming.
Well, how about, just imagine Joe Biden falling asleep and a guy faints over there and Trump's falling asleep, right?
Yeah.
This week.
That image of, I don't know, where was it, the cabinet room or
wherever.
In the Oval Office, and the guy fainted and fell on the floor. And President Trump just stood up and crossed his arms and just looked straight ahead. I mean, my goodness. I mean, if somebody... I was at a restaurant a couple of weeks ago, and a guy fell off a chair.
And I guarantee you everybody rushed over to help him.
Well, he fell off the chair because he was short and he was on a high top table and his leg slipped off the bottom rail and he fell. And I was next to him and I heard him thump on the floor. It's like, hell yeah. I went down there and just like right away, hey, are you okay? I'm not trying to say I'm the good guy here, but it's like...
Well, most people would be. The good they would do. But like he said, he looked over, okay, you fainted, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course, I think he was sleeping in between the presentation anyway. Yeah, I'm looking now. The Trump administration directs states on Thursday to take immediate steps to ensure households reach full November SNAP benefits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. And again, maybe we should play some music. What do you think, Nick?
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
We could talk. Maybe
Justice's latest album.
That's absolutely. He recorded it here.
Of course,
I
we
think.
could talk about big sports weekend here
Oh,
this
my
weekend.
goodness.
We got
Notre Dame
game day
pick.
here. Notre Dame coming
game
into
day's there.
town, and Steelers need a win.
Absolutely, they do.
They
It was a
need
rough
more than win.
performance last week.
They need big improvements.
Absolutely.
Huge improvements.
Last
They'll
time I
win.
look, you're still in first. That's all that counts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Baltimore's hot on their neck.
It's not where you are now. It's where you are at the end of the season.
Well,
that's right,
true.
Rich. That's brilliant. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good
there'll be
analysis.
No shockers.
Yeah.
But locally, again, we'll get the final numbers, even though the numbers were up, surprising in all the counties. And I think it was due to the fact that we had the only county that had Democrats and Republicans on the countywide
contested
races. None in Westmoreland, none in Washington. I think maybe one in Greene County, but the retention vote.
Yeah.
Retention vote, and I talked about it this morning, especially in Washington and Westmoreland. 30,000 more registered Republicans in Westmoreland County and Democrats, but the retention vote passed.
Yeah.
But they voted against our candidates who were running for office, Brandon Newman, Stella Tessay, and I can't think the other candidate right now on top of my head. And, but they voted for the retention. But they also had retention votes for their judges in Westmoreland County. Nick, we have a caller calling in?
We do.
Maybe that's the current president of the United States calling
I think
us.
it might be.
Oh,
You're on the
find
air.
out. Well, there's the door open. We must have a ghost in this room.
We do. That was Doreen.
All right, let's
Hi,
see
you're
what
on
we
the
got.
air.
Hello.
Yo. Who we have?
Hello.
Is this you, sister?
Yes, it is. I heard you talking to someone else there in the background.
No,
Wanted to make sure you were still.
No, the door opened openly, but nobody opened it. It just came open. So we have some spirits in her. Go right ahead, sister.
I just want to talk about this let them eat cake administration. You know, the peasants have no bread. Let them eat cake. You know, you're talking about people going without their SNAP benefits and Donald Trump saying that the grocery prices went down. I just came from the grocery store. I don't know if he's ever been in a grocery store.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
That's such a nice word, as he puts it. Such a nice word.
I thought his best word was tariffs. Beautiful word.
Well, you know what? When you were talking about tariffs, Lawrence O'Donnell with the last word had an excellent piece on how they would return the tariffs. The lady who would be in charge of that said that it would be as easy as giving people refunds like the IRS does on their taxes. It is really specific about who paid the taxes, large companies I'm talking about, who paid the taxes, the tariffs, I'll say taxes, where they went, what countries and that. So she explained it on there and said it's not that difficult. So don't let them tell you that if the courts rule that his tariffs were illegal. Now, as far as these $2,000 checks, I have my check upstairs with Donald's big signature on it because I deposited mine electronically and I got to keep the check. Now, Joe Biden gave us all money during the pandemic also, but Donald wants his signature on everything.
He probably used that auto pen, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Does anybody realize that we've already paid these tariffs on all these goods, and now he's going to, give us back our own money? And then how does that affect the deficit?
Yeah.
You know, this is all one big major grift. That's exactly what it is. And the Trump family are the best grifters I've ever seen in my lifetime.
They're good at it.
And and Rich, I think I have to correct you on one thing. It was the PA budget. I believe it was Medicaid.
Medicaid is Medicare. Okay.
Not Medicare.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, which I did not go into further, but I'm pretty sure it was Medicaid.
Okay.
So, and how, it is, I don't know if it's surprising, but when you mentioned the judge retentions, that, the vote in Fayette County did not go the way the rest of Pennsylvania did. So, it's like, to me, a lot of these people are, what's the expression that cut off your nose to spite your face? Yeah. So it's not that they voted for as much as they just vote against.
Well, just like when I brought up our Representative Charity, and probably same with Ryan Warner, there's additional money programs we need here in the Commonwealth. And then you turn around and say, yes, you need it for schools and so on and so forth. Then you turn around and vote no on the budget.
Well, we just have a big to-do going between the Senate and the House right now, with the senators sneaking in a provision that they would be compensated. I think it was $500,000 an incident if during Jack Smith, when he had subpoenaed their phone records and did not let them know ahead of time. I guess that means, if you're going to be...
But they're going to raid your house. I assume they're going to tell you before they do, right?
Right, exactly, so that you can get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now they snuck this into the Senate bill, and we'll see what Mike Johnson in the House. They say that they're all voting against it. Well, they didn't get their piece of pie. That's why.
But
That's
that $500,000 they're looking for, that was not for eavesdrop. They did not eavesdrop on conversations.
No, they did not.
It was not eavesdrop. Yeah, it was just locating where individuals were.
Yeah.
Based
exactly.
on the
where they were at
yeah.
the time of January 6th,
Yeah.
what was going on, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, sister, we appreciate your comments. We're going to grab a call.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure
Well-
that somebody else called in, just so you know people were listening.
Well, if
Thank
not,
you.
we're going to take a little snooze. Nick, we got a caller on the line.
All right. Oh, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Who are we speaking with?
This is Ken. Hey, guys.
Hey, Ken.
How's it going today?
Good, good. We thought maybe we
Anyway.
thought maybe our broadcast was only here on South Mountain Vernon today. Nobody else listening.
Right.
Last
Well,
week we
I
were
just have-
inundated by calls, but we'll take it. What's up, Ken?
Anyway, I think it was Argentina that got the bailout, not Venezuela. The 40 billion.
You might be right. Yeah, I get confused with Argentina and Venezuela.
Yeah,
South
that's
America
okay.
somewhere,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. You're
You know what?
absolutely right.
Him threatening Venezuela, that's just like Putin in Ukraine. Trump wants to start his own little war.
Well, that's the mate wars he settled, but can't settle that one, right? Day one, right, Doc? Day one, he was going to settle that. Him and Putin, right? It was going to be easy, folks, right? That's why you elected me. 8 wars. Nobody knows where these other 8 wars were. He settled one. These 2 countries were.
Afghanistan and India.
Yeah, they were like 8,000 miles apart or something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, prices are down. Gas is down $2 a gallon.
Really? Where's that at?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, and then of course, Thanksgiving dinner is going to cost you 25% less than it did last year.
Yeah.
And that's if you don't put anything on the table. I don't. This guy is definitely he's done everything he can to ruin the country. He lies, and they believe it. They his loyal followers, I guess, or whatever they are. I can't understand. Don't they realize that this guy's nothing but a BSer?
Well, if you say it often enough, people start believing it.
Well, Ken,
Exactly. One lie, and then he'll lie again, and then the next thing you know, it becomes truth, for them. But I don't understand it. I just our country's in bad shape. We need to get rid of him and all of his cronies in there, and I hope the election just keeps on going. Hey, I missed the part about the election in Fayette County. Was there something in the paper today or something?
There was something Thursday. There was a group of individuals felt that the current recorder of deeds in his campaign finance didn't report properly of the amount of money that he used to promote his campaign. It was sent here
by a group of individuals in Fayette County. Yeah. Asking for a judicial audit.
Yes.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, and the ones who signed it were a majority of them were Republicans. There was one Democrat, and this was due to campaign financing.
Yeah.
What was reported? There's a reporting period. There's one before the election, one after election, and there's the annual audit. Anybody running for office has to do it, and it's for expenditures from January 1st to December 31st of 2025. So we'll see where that goes, and it's ironic. John's not here in the next couple of shows here at WMBS. Maybe he knew something that we didn't know. But again,
possibility. Hey, what was Go ahead. That's okay. Go ahead.
No, it'll be interesting to see because candidates can file an amended financial report.
Yes.
So let's see how many are going to be amended.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
And then when
The,
Ken, you do live in the 51st. Next time you see Charity, have you ever seen Charity anywhere out in your neck of the woods, or any
No, I
ribbon
know she
cuttings,
has-
or?
she has some things in Uniontown and at the Ambets once in a while.
Oh, that's
But,
that free. That's that free dinner for us veterans, right?
Right. Yep. I've never made it to one of them. Huh? Have you? Okay, not.
Well, I know the first one I went. I know that there was two people across from me. The only reason they went was for the free dinner. Didn't have no idea who she was, other than they got an invitation.
And they admitted that.
And they admitted that. It could have been a Democrat. I mean, representative that did the same thing. But this one, they were there for the dinner after their luncheon, and they left.
Yeah.
They didn't even stick
Yeah.
around. But Ken,
Did they-
go right
one
ahead.
other question: the mail-in votes.
Yes.
Did they get them counted?
Oh, yes. They've done that starting at 7 a.m. on the day of election.
Okay.
So those are all
everything-
counted. Right now, it's the write-ins, and I indicated to Doc and Rich, and there could be close to 8,000, and I had the numbers before. And you have to go to every polling precinct, and there are 77, and that's time-consuming, and there's a lot to,
And for every different race.
for every different race. So those have to
Oh.
be, yeah, not just
How
one
did
race.
How did Santelli do?
Well, as you know, he was defeated. John got, I don't know the exact count, a little over 1,000. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at the numbers for a while because there was provisional ballots. There was 300 some to be counted. The write-ins will not affect any or
the outcome
of the countywide races.
No.
But we're hoping, and I went down to the Bureau of Elections today, and they're hoping to get these numbers done as quickly as possible, and they've been working very diligently. Ken, we appreciate the call, and have a great
Thanks,
weekend.
guys. Yep, you keep up the good work.
All right, thank you. Nick, what do we have? A couple minutes left?
We have 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. All right, Doc, I'm going to hold you to 30, 30, and 30. Like there was a show, right? Wasn't that a show once?
Sounds about right.
Can I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Was there anything surprising about the election a couple weeks ago?
Surprising.
There was one for me.
Okay, share it with everybody.
The outcome.
The outcome.
39%.
39. I have to agree on that. Doc, what was your...
Well, that's great. The thing is that big turnout and all the rallies for No King in America and all, mobilized people are seeing the seriousness of every single vote. And that we're going to hopefully see in the coming year, till next election next November, an awakening of the seriousness of what's at stake.
Well, my big thing was we had two excellent candidates ran for countywide.
Yep.
Jim Santelli and Matt Lancaster. And guys and girls, it's hard to overcome when your party affiliation is about 11,000 more registered Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah.
And again, they ran a good campaign. My hat's off to them. And again, they did what they had to do. And again, Nick, we're going to wrap this up, Nick, and I didn't call you TJ at all.
Yeah, and if you look at some of those raw numbers, right? Obviously, some Republicans ended up voting for Matt and Jim.
Oh, absolutely. Same way, and when we had a big race in South Union.
Yeah.
And those numbers are hard, folks. And you're running against incumbent. Incumbent has advantage in a campaign. That's plain and simple. And Doc's done it, I did it, Rich done it. And believe me, it's hard. You put your reputation out there. You're knocking on doors. It costs you money. It does, especially run countywide race. You don't have $40,000, $50,000. Don't even, as they say, you're not going to be competitive. You got to get the word out. And today it's social media. Nick, we want to thank you. Go Steelers,
Thank
go
you.
Pitt.
Let's do it, buddy.
We'll
Yeah.
be back here next week on the Democratic Hour with the three amigos.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
Have a
Nick.
great
Thanks for
weekend.
giving. And welcome. And again, that's closing of the Democratic Hour. We'll be back here next week. Taking it to the
You
streets.
have been listening to the Democratic Radio Hour, heard every Friday at 3:15, right here on 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WNBS. Cloudy skies and 50 degrees outside of our Davis & Davis studios, with the overnight low tonight dropping down 2 as we update that Weather bug, 49 degrees. Penguins are taking on the Predators right now in Nashville. Penguins up 1-0 at the start of the third period. And we'll give you the final score on that next hour. Local news, CBS News on the way. Tonight we have college football, Clemson at Louisville at 7 o'clock. That's on the way this evening on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, W266 DB, WMBS Uniontown. Right now, 51 degrees and a cloudy sky. CBS News at 4 o'clock.